Welcome to Sportishness, the Super Bowl edition. So here we are,
The Super Baw
the
edition.
Super Baw, the Super Harbaugh, the brothers Harbaugh beating each other up in New Orleans. It's like a brawl,
It is going
a
to be.
brother brawl.
It's going to be a hard fought bra. Hard bra. Anyway.
Wow,
Yeah, it's
it begins to sound like a bra, like
it does. It's hard to say bra after a while.
boulder holders.
Yes, Super Bra.
Super bra, right?
All right.
Um,
The thing about the Super Bowl is it's just not a football game. You don't just show up and play the game.
no,
You
no,
have
it's
the whole media week thing. It's hard to. It's you and I talked a couple of years ago about one of the Rams games where the St. Louis Rams had gone to the Super Bowl. It was their third appearance, I think.
right.
And they were doing the media day stuff, and they were just loafing around. They were pros. They'd seen it all. They didn't really care. And then they got slaughtered. So,
It's got to be hard to keep keep your brain in the game with all the distractions, and of course, some teams have been helping themselves to more distractions than others. I mean, can you say Ray Lewis? Can you say Randy Moss? I'm the best receiver to ever play the game.
yes. It's
I mean, how do you help the team? How do you help your team with that kind of shenanigans?
yeah. You don't. I think it's obviously it's to play at the professional level of any sport, but especially football, which has such a wide base of Pop Warner to high,
Right.
Pee Wee Pop Warner High School, the college, the funnel. That to play it, to be on the field at all means you're a pretty amazing athlete.
Right.
So, but to make it to the Super Bowl means that you're on a team of amazing athletes.
Exactly.
So the egos that go around that kind of stuff is just completely insane. So as millions, potentially billion, I don't know how many people watch Super Bowl. It's a lot of fans, football fans are hoping this year is that we just want a good Super Bowl. That's the constant refrain. And sometimes you get weird matchups. You'll get a real finesse team against a physical team.
Right.
And then the score is like 55-10, and you're paying somebody $800 because you bet on the wrong team.
I thought we were never going to mention that again.
But this year it's going to be interesting because this year we do have two physical teams. Statistically, and on the field in reality are both good defensive units.
Yes.
However, for the most part, have gotten to this game without playing terribly good defense, with the exception of the Ravens for one game, where they shut the Patriots down to 13 points. Otherwise, it's been basically college football scores for both teams all the way through. So neither team's defense has really stood up consistently, but both teams do have very physical defenses and very physical offensive lines.
Except I would say that both teams have been able to mount a lot of pressure off their defensive line. I mean, I really feel actually one of the things that's going to really decide this game is which team is going to be able to put the most pressure on the opposing quarterback.
These will be two fun teams to watch to play the game. You've got, from the quarterback's perspective, you've got Joe Flacco, who has generally been an inconsistent quarterback, but when he gets to the playoffs, he's brilliant. Consistently brilliant. Do you know that he's the only quarterback in the NFL who, in his first 5 seasons, has always made the playoffs and always won at least one game in the playoffs? The guy has never had a season where he just sat on the bench after the season and went, gee, I wish we could have done better.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
So John here warned me that he was gonna sandbag me with a stat. So there it is. There it is. That's the stat.
That's my stat.
Wow. All the legend stuff that you can say about Ray Lewis is great, and some of it is true. But I think that when all is said and done, the thing that's going to make the biggest difference is whether or not Flacco and Torrey Smith can connect as they have in the previous 3 games.
See, I don't disagree with that because that actually, you said earlier that, basically defense wins championships. You
Right.
think the team that can put the most pressure on the quarterback will win, and I certainly don't disagree with that. That can never hurt.
Right.
But we've got there's kind of a chess match thing going on here where this team has superstar A on offense, your other team has superstar B on defense. That kind of nullifies that.
Uh-huh.
I think what when you have two physical teams that are reasonably equally matched across the board, what ends up winning the game for you generally is the unknown player. So you're saying Torrey Smith on the Ravens. They've got Vernon Davis. And these aren't so unknown players, but they're the guys that generally aren't the first receiver.
Right.
So if those guys start having a good day, like Vernon Davis did it, for example, 2 weeks ago in the conference championship game.
Right.
I think that's what makes the difference. I think almost like you start kind of matching up pieces. Everything cancels itself out. But at the end of the day, neither team has enough talent on defense to cover that second and third option
Exactly.
all the time. So either you double coverage the primary option, or you play out a little bit softer because that second option is a true threat, and all of a sudden the game opens up.
Right. I think that the 49ers actually are going to win this game, despite, the legend of Ray Lewis and the possibility of, Flacco and Torrey Smith, hooking up over and over again. I really think that the Baltimore defense is going to be caught a bit flat-footed with how to deal with Kaepernick, because Kaepernick has shown the ability to put passes down the field and even win as a pocket quarterback in the NFC Championship game. However, I think that Harbaugh thought maybe that was a nice experiment just to to prove that they could do it. But when it comes right down to it, letting Kaepernick be Kaepernick, and putting out those 60 or 100 yards that are gonna feel like they come out from nowhere, and when they're trying to put pressure, when Baltimore's trying to put pressure on Kaepernick, and he squeezes out and completes a pass, or he squirts out for a 40-yard run, that's going to really upset their day. In fact, really, if Kaepernick has a 100-yard rushing day, then Baltimore's toast.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would say so. I mean, that's an enormous amount of pickup yards for a quarterback. He is a double threat, and that is something that Flacco doesn't really bring to the table. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. But and then you flip it over and say, well, but the Baltimore defense is notoriously successful against running quarterbacks.
Right.
So, to the point they tend to hurt them.
Yeah.
Kaepernick's a smart player; he gets down a lot. But for me, I can't figure out who's going to win this game. Some days it's like, well, Kaepernick, he brings that little extra thing to the game that will, get you those extra couple first downs, they get you those extra, 7-10 points, throughout the game, and that picks it up for you. But I'm also thinking, Baltimore defense, when they're hot, they won't let you run. They'll box you in. So you got each team has their, they got Kaepernick, Gore, and Crabtree. And interestingly enough, I don't know if those guys will be a factor in this game. Just to say, I don't know if Flacco, Rice, and Bolden will really be the big factors.
Yeah.
Yes, Flacco has to complete the passes. Kaepernick has to complete the passes. But I would not be surprised to see some unknown. Well, again, unknown's a bad word here, but not necessarily the guy who's in the limelight every play.
Right.
Maybe making the difference. I don't have a score. I can't even figure out who's going to win the game. But my feeling is, given that these teams are again, reasonably evenly matched. There's teams who have, Kaepernick is the unique thing, over there. Ray Lewis and what he brings to the table is a unique thing for the Ravens. What I do think is going to happen is this game's going to be very close. And it may even come down, it might be one of these classic games that comes down, whoever's got the ball last wins.
Yeah. The score that floated through my head first, and I just can't seem to walk away from it, is like 38-35.
Okay. I'll say 31-34. Just to draw out a series of numbers. But that's a lot of scoring now. That's
it is.
60, 70 points of scoring, which means defenses really aren't going to be a terribly huge factor.
Right. Yeah.
So it could be 3-6. That would be horrible.
Well, okay, guys. Well, enjoy Super Bowl. Enjoy
the Super Bowl. And this Tebow guy, you won't see him again next year.
Yes, we're bringing the guns.
I was just doing the Tim Tebow.
Well, I'm bringing gun control.
The gun show?
Gun show. All right. Enjoy good football.
Enjoy good football.
Oh,
You stole my thing. I worked on that for years.
I stole your thing.
You son of a...